getting his clothes changed, and
Too shiny.
that's right. So we're back. So as I was saying before, we were talking about your freedom and this word freedom. People throw the word freedom at many people, especially in Africa. Now you have your freedom. You're free. Freedom. And the unfortunate reality is freedom is not something that we can catch, something that gets given to us, something that we are receiving a lucky box or a lucky packet or whatever you want to call it. Freedom is something that you have to earn, something that you have to use your time. You've got to make your freedom. It is the highest, it is the most expensive luxury that you can probably have as a human being.
And this comes to the idea of channel being positive. We have three concepts, very simple to understand, which is time. It's what you're born with. It's what nature gives to you. Okay,
right.
Time. And then you have energy. Okay, energy. Keep this one, which is very important. Okay, and when with your energy, you produce your resources. Okay, why I say the energy is very important? Because if you don't expend your energy in positive energy, you get bad resources. If you put your energy in a bad direction, you have bad resources. If you put in a good way, you have good resources. And then your resources are gonna affect directly again in your time, and then your energy, and then your resources, and you keep repeating this cycle. And then with time, energy and resources, especially the energy being channeled to a good direction, then you start to have a glimpse of the freedom. Then you have all the other moral values that you can start to cultivate, to have an envision. That's why we were saying before, create your own traditions. When you have your time, your energy, and your resources, you don't want to waste your time, you don't want to waste your energy, and you don't want to waste your resources.
Yes.
So create your own traditions. Start small. Start very small. Make your bed, clean your room, wash your face, talk properly, speak properly with your parents, with your relatives, with your neighborhoods.
Yes.
Say please, thank you, I'm sorry. There's no problem. You're not weak because of this. But boy, what are you saying? It's obvious again. But yeah, but
how many of them? That's right. It's the obvious things which we unfortunately don't see, and we overlook all the time. And this is the base of everything. And if you start every day with the basics all the time, and you keep repeating the basics all the time, it becomes part of your tradition of waking up in the morning, or going to bed, or cleaning your shoes, or washing your face, or brushing your teeth, or cutting your hair, or ironing your clothes.
And this is very important. But why are you talking this about African dishonesty? Because they have time, they have energy, but why they don't have resources? It's a very simple answer: because they're not using their energy well.
That's right.
It's very easy to understand. If they were using their energy well, they would have good resources, and then good time, and then good energy again, and then again good resources. And then you start to build everything from this. It's very simple to understand. It's the philosophy of nature. It's very simple.
It's the basics. It's absolutely just the basics. And this is what Karma and I, we really always encourage. And don't make a mistake. Oh, but you guys are finding the bad points, this and the next thing. Well, yes and no. And if you say, all right, how would you better their country? All right, how would you better Liberia? Well, I'm not a water expert, okay? I'm not a water expert, but probably they want to fix their water problem if they want to go forward as a country. That is like the first. Water, hygiene, and health.
Yeah. I understand a bit of the geography of Liberia, and I can say with a bit of knowledge about Liberia. Have one very interesting characteristic, which is all Liberian rivers flow from the inland directly to the sea.
Right.
So it's kind of a tradition of Liberian people put all their wastes in those rivers, who are supposed to be the rivers who give them water. So the rivers are extremely polluted. So it's very complicated, and there's many big rivers in Liberia. Make no mistake, that country it's blessed. They have a lot of rivers there.
There's hydroelectric power that you can
And
sort of
if
do.
they have so many rivers, I forgot how many rivers they do have.
Right.
The let me see. Time, energy, and resource. I waste all three sometimes. But my friend, this is okay. But now you understand it. Now we understand it together. Thank you very much, my friend. And having all those rivers, many rivers, the question is time, energy, and resources. See how Mother Nature is generous with them. They have time,
That's right.
and they already have resources. It's just a matter of, that's why I say it's that important. Because when I say energy, the energy, it's your personal impulse. It's up to you. The first one, Mother Nature gave you, the time. The second, it's up to you. And the third, it's the consequences of your actions using your energy. So in Africa, in Liberia, as well in personal life of anyone else, we got to use our time because the time is running. Since we're born, we are marked to die. We have the energy because we have time. Use in a good way, produce good resources. And in Liberia, specifically, they have time. They do have energy because they have energy to go to war. And they already have resources. So it's just a matter of channel the energy in a good way. How this possibly, it's not dishonesty.
That's right. So at the same time as well, Karma and I were speaking just previously before we started our stream about in the center of Monrovia, they have land allocated for making actually a clinic. Well, this is
Jesus Christ, this is a deep subject. And just let me read. I'm getting better though. I just need to focus on the positive and not negative. My friend, it's like that's why I know you are new in the channel, but we
welcome.
Yes, of course, make yourself at home.
Just 1 second.
This is
MC Hammer says you're welcome, and this is positive energy. Come on, look at his pants, for God's sake! You're not going to get positive energy from that.
pimp
man.
mustache.
Look at that mustache. Damn.
And it's like you born with one of the rarest things in this planet, which is you have a rational mind, and Mother Nature gave you time. And I know it's very easy to say but have time. But I know how life is. Comes the hardships, comes the procrastination time, I know how it is. But that's why we keep pumping this make your own traditions. Because when you make your own traditions, you prepare yourself, you prepare your mind to put yourself in a positive direction. Then you're gonna use your energy in a positive way. What I mean with this, keep saying like positive. When you create your own traditions, you're not just emulating a positive action.
No.
When you create a positive mindset, you not just emulate positive in action. You being positive naturally, because sink in. How the hell can I get the positive mindset? Positive mindset, not emulating. Create your own traditions. Small ones. Start small. Always small. Don't expect miracles, okay? Which is very simple. Make your bed, wash your face, and start inside of your home. If you live with your parents, if you live alone, treat well your neighborhoods, treat well your pets, and try to promote slowly this good attitude,
right.
Good energy. And you probably, people must think, but people are just dicks. People many times, even if you try to be positive, people gives you negative energy. But the thing is, when you have a positive mindset, it's much easier to you deflect this kind of energy, because you understand that life is much more about to give than to receive, you create no expectations on people, but only in yourself. You understand? That is about create your own traditions. It's very simple, but extremely efficient, because it changes you from inside to outside. Because you're not expecting anything from anyone but yourself. You only believe in yourself. You believe in Mother Nature, who gave you time, energy, and probably good resources if you use well your energy.
I've got another weird one as well. I mean, this is just something, you know, some people sort of laugh at it, but put a flower on the table. And trust me,
Helps.
trust me, you can get any damn pet bottle even that you put some water inside. You can get any weed flower that's growing outside your house. You can pick it up, you can stick it inside over there and put it on the table. Okay?
Yeah.
And trust me, if you don't have any allergies to flowers or pollen, by that mean, you know, by saying that, you put something and you do something like that, remember, it's always reciprocating. The energy that you've given to something to make yourself happy, every single time you pass it or you sit down in front of it, and then you say to yourself, yeah, it does look beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
it does encourage me.
Of course, because it's like you making your the space that you live something more pleasing. Even if you don't like flowers, make it organized, because you're gonna wake up, you're gonna organize, and then when you come back to your room or to your home, you're gonna say, well, this looks good.
Yeah.
I have time now, because everything is nicely organized or clean or looking nice, you know. And then it's awful when you arrive in a place that it's like a war zone. It's like everything, you know, messy and this and stinky and this. Don't do this. Don't do this with yourself. You know, that's why it's
And try
important. Start slow.
That's right. And try not to try not to, you know, if you're not in a war zone, war-stricken country, then probably the probability of you bettering yourself is very, very high.
Yeah.
But if you by any chance are in a war zone, you've got to try and distance yourself from that. So, looking on a more positive point of view, if you're not in a war zone, putting a little flower on the table, okay, that might be, you know, this is one small little thing, but if you keep repeating this thing all the time, people start to notice. That's right. You notice, people start to notice, and slowly but surely it makes other people happy as well. Because remember, you're not doing it for other people, you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
But if you it's this consistency of doing something all the time. You know, when Karim and myself, we started our channel, how many people did we have follow us? 1.
We don't have much now. We have 56, but it's 56 great people. And we started with just 1.
That's right.
It's how we start.
That's right. We started with 1, sitting inside.
James. Yes, exactly.
That's it. Exactly.
LOL.
That's right. So this was, and thank you so much. And you start with just one thing.
James is great.
Okay? You start with one thing. But if you keep on doing that one thing and you keep the consistency all the time, you keep repeating the thing all the time, right? And you're really affiliated. Thank you very much, James. Trust me, we could not have done it without all of you. And thank you very, very, very much. But seriously, it is just one step at a time. You know, how do you go forward? You put your first foot forward. Yeah, but that's normal. We know how that works. No. You put the first foot forward. So when you talk about, you know, you're trying to get better and you're trying to feel more positive about it, we really, really appreciate it. We really appreciate it as well. I said to thank you to James. Whoa! Whoa.
This is racism.
God.
This is racism. And
You see,
it seemed like
I love for MC Hammer and Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, and James said, and you already affiliate. Yes,
That's right.
We are ready.
And what did James say as
And
well?
it seemed like forever for me to hit 50, and soon I hit 50.
Right.
Within a week, I was over 100. Now I'm over 200. Fantastic.
You see, James?
Because you are fantastic, James.
Because you're
Come on.
fantastic. Because you keep pumping the positive energy.
The biggest negative thing I'm addicted to cigarettes. I'm gonna try to stop before the end of the year. This is
Well, you know, it's
yeah. It's like we are peculiar. Let's say, Waterboy. Yeah. For example, of course, if you inhale everyday smoke, doesn't sound good, doesn't sound natural, okay? But it's paradoxal because, for example, my grandfather lived until almost 100 years, and that guy was a hell of a shimmy. He was a steam train. The guy was smoking everything. And my father, who died not so old, but he was smoking like crazy. And when he went to the doctors and the doctors looked at his lungs X-ray, was like, how the hell you have these fucking good lungs? You know, if you feel you yourself, you feel it's bad for you, it's something who is taking your time, you feel independent over it. This is very important, okay? If you feel dependent, you feel that something who somehow pushes you to down, you should stop. You should try to stop.
now. If I can ask one thing, what is the biggest? You said the biggest negative thing is smoking. Who said?
No, and it's like, if you're feeling this, if you're feeling that it's bad for you, I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about
Yeah,
people.
that's right. I'm talking about him.
Yeah, I'm not talking like people
him.
around you or something. Even if you do smoke, you shouldn't make your problem the problem of people around you.
Yeah.
Of course. I remember my father, when even if he was a very heavy smoker, he never ever smoked in front of us. Never ever inside of home. Never ever. And since you don't make the problem to other people, I don't see any problem. But if you feel that you should stop, you should. But be honest with yourself. Don't expect miracles. Start slow. You know? That's a very honest way to approach the thing. Don't create like start slow.
If I can say one thing, who said it's a negative thing? Did you decide, or did somebody?
Doctors.
Or did doctors say to you, or did your wife say to you, or your kids say to you, or your friend said to you that you should stop, or your workmates said you're going to die, or do you cough all the time, or you know what was it that triggered you to say this is a negative thing?
Because also there is the
Irrelevant what the health people say, and relevant what the doctors say.
Yeah,
Irrelevant.
Because, for example, of course, if you have a daughter or a son that when you go and hug them and they complain about, Daddy, you smelling like a cigarette, and I really don't like this. And then maybe you should consider, because it's your kids, you love them, and you would do some sacrifices for your
I'm
kids.
I'm coughing all the time.
But it's important to be honest with yourself. Yeah, my friend, that is it's some red light. Okay.
Do you live by yourself? Do you live by yourself, and do you?
Occasional smoking, I think, would be positive. That's it.
That's it.
You
That's
just
it.
said.
That's what it is.
You just said. Be honest with yourself.
That's right. Be honest. That's right.
That's
And
it.
remember, as long, you know. Oh man.
You are really racist.
Man, come on, MC, stand up. Whoopi.
Whoopi Goldberg. What do you think about Liberia? It's a beautiful country.
Thank you very much.
Why you don't help them? What? You
What?
rich, you're not pro this and that and want to help people. Why you don't give your money to Africa? Why you don't give? Why you don't help them? What? Now go sit there.
It's the occasional. It's everything in moderation. That's what it is. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
No,
That's
it's
cool.
fine.
That's cool.
Spread more. No?
Yeah, it's these crazy things that we really enjoy doing, but it makes us laugh.
Yeah.
You know, we're not being horrible or derogative.
Come on.
Or
If you don't laugh, if you don't have sense of humor, if people don't have the minimum joy of life, you're just making your own destiny. You're just going down. You're just gonna sink in the ocean of negative energy, you know? That's why, again, coffee is a red light. Okay, and occasional smoking, yeah, you just said, you already understand how things work.
But you shouldn't do it because somebody's telling you.
Yeah, you should understand. Listen yourself.
Remember,
Listen yourself.
Karma and myself, we believe that there's a couple of, not rules, a couple of, I wouldn't even say guidelines, I will say things that...
Advices.
Advice, that's right, that you could use. And the first one is to say please. The second one is to say thank you. The third one is to say sorry if you've made a mistake. The fourth one is soap. And you say soap? Yeah, soap for cleaning yourself. And the fifth one is water. Hey, that's African. The fifth one is water. So having soap and water to make yourself presentable.
You hear whoopee. Water.
That's right. Soap and water. So the sixth one, which we believe is really, really important, is you should do every single thing which makes you happy. Okay? As long as you're not making a problem for the people that are around you. So if you smell like an ashtray, and probably people that smoke don't actually realize actually how much they smell, right? Okay. If you smell like an ashtray, then it might be in your favor. I don't know what country you're in now, but it may be in your benefit to change to e-cigarettes because they don't stink as much. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But everything in moderation, and do whatever you want to do because that's what makes you happy. Obviously, if you're coughing a lot, well, maybe you want to go and see your doctor or slow down on the cigarettes, maybe. And the reason why I said to you just a couple of minutes ago is, do you live by yourself and do you clean your house? You know, I'm not even talking about cigarettes now. I had a couple of my staff at work, and the one guy was coughing quite a bit. And I said to him, "You smoke?" And he says, "No, I don't. I don't even smoke." So he says, "I occasionally have, a cigarette now and again." So I just said to him, "Have you been checked?" So I said, "Yeah, I've been checked. I've been checked twice." So I said, "Do you clean?" I said, "Do you vacuum a lot? Do you air your room? Have you cleaned your air conditioner filter?" And he said, "No." So I said, "Do it."
Yeah.
And I said, "Do it right away and start to clean. Get a little vacuum cleaner and vacuum your whole place. Shake your blankets out." He came back within a month. His coughing had stopped. And he said to me, "Boss, thank you so much. I never sort of realized."
It was a gas chamber.
That's right. I kept throwing out my rubbish in that. That's right. It was in a gas chamber. He wasn't cleaning. There was too much dust. And he had a really bad, allergic attack towards dust. And it's like, well, dude, you got to clean the place, man.
Of course. When we talk about traditions, well, also say, like, when of course make your bed, clean your room, treat well your parents or your relatives, and also take care of yourself.
That's most important.
Do exercise, walk. If you can't run, walk. Men, if you are a man, water boy, I believe you are a man. Do exercise. Do pull-ups, do push-ups. Minimum amount. I'm not saying to you like I'm gonna become. No. Be honest with yourself. It's much misconception that physical exercise is like connected with statics, but the main factor of doing physical exercise is your health, man. You should take care of your health. You should move your body. Your body was made to move. You know, it's very important. And when you do exercise, you feel more happy. Yes, you feel more happy. You release stress. You can even start to reduce your smoking. You know, because maybe you feel it's not for you anymore, or something like, you know. I smoke almost a pack a day, and it's very cheap here in USA. and I live alone and smoke outside. It's a good tradition, my
Well,
friend. And you are from the beautiful US. We have many people from US.
Bravo.
Fantastic. Where in US, my friend? Please tell us. We love to know.
And really, smoking outside, best thing for you. That's the best thing for you.
Yeah.
Smoking outside, don't make a mistake, that's a good thing. That's a good thing right there.
Fantastic.
But tell us where you are in the US. We'd love to know. Because seriously, we really appreciate all of you joining our channel. Like seriously. And we love this interaction. We love to hear the way that people think, and just great that you're all here.
We have people from Oregon, from Michigan, North California, South California. We have from Peru, Colombia. We have from many places.
Sweden. We've got lovely James from Wales.
Yeah.
Wales.
People from Pennsylvania too.
Scotland as well, wasn't it?
No,
London. We have London.
Many
yes.
from London.
Amber
from London.
That's right.
And you know, man, it's like create your traditions. Think of yourself. And I know we drifting a bit far off the subject.
North Dakota.
Oh.
Hey, come on, man! It's beautiful there, isn't it?
Beautiful place, fantastic.
Jeez, but that should be clean air for you, man.
Got inspired by the Marlboro.
Be a man. You know?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I'm joking.
No.
Not being horrible.
And we drifting a bit far from the
African thing.
subject. But if you see the make your own traditions, it's for everyone.
That's right.
No matter if you are African, if you are Asian, if you are European, if you are South American, North American, Scandinavian, whatever. Create your own traditions. Creating your own small traditions is the only way that you can really change your mindset to positive mindset. Otherwise, you're just going to be emulating, and this is fake, and this is lie, and we don't want to be associated with lie. We love the truth, and we want distance from the lies. We don't want because who love the lies? People who lie all the time they live in permanent state of denial. They deny the truth. So create your own traditions. You're gonna acquire a positive mindset, not emulating one. And then it's only benefit. Then things go. And if they don't go, because life is tough, if you want to make it, you gotta be tough, like Johnny Cash said.
You gotta be tough, man.
And if life is rough, you have proper tools to deal with life, because you have a positive approach. You wanting to solve the problems, not wanting to make part of the problems anymore.
It's don't try and look for the problems. It's not a case of looking for the problems. It's, for example, Karma and myself, when we look at Africa, it's not like we're going out of our way to try and find the problems. So I was going to say to Karma, actually, before we started the stream, I have this great idea. And here I go. So some people, they say, oh, but you guys, you're negative against, you always try to find fault or something like that. No, it's not. I'm trying to find fault. I'm just trying to introduce. We're trying to introduce a reality.
Pointing the obvious things that people are in denial.
That's right, on denial. So second thing is, how would you better their country? Okay, like I said, I'm coming back to the water part again. So in Liberia, the wonderful Liberia, okay, how would if I had, remember as well, it's poor ass country, but they have a really interesting, as far as I understand, they've got different tribes, which is a great
16 different tribes.
And that for me is already a really positive thing.
Of course.
Okay, it's a real positive thing for me. Don't put the word diversity onto me. I don't like that word. I think it's junk. That's not a plus thing for me. That is, many different makes it interesting, right? Different mindset, but how do you take all of these different mindsets? This is the way that I look at it. I look at Liberia and I say, how do you put them together? Water, electricity, food, all that. Sorry, but the government and the people, they've got to do that. That's not my department, okay? How I would like to do it, Carmo. How I would like to do it how do you bring all these people together on a constant basis to do something together? But
Basic necessities.
that's right. Well, necessity in a sense, yes.
Water. Everyone got to have water.
That's right. Okay. Besides the water and all of that, this is the country. That's the country. They're going to sort that part out. I'm sorry.
In the mind context.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, and MC Hammer went and moved again. MC Hammer, you're listening. You.
He's already sweaty. Look at that.
MC Hammer, the doctor. So I was thinking, and this brainwave came to me, and I've been thinking about it a couple of days, and this is actually the first time I'm telling Karmo as well about it, and all of you, obviously. I said, how do you take a country, and how do you get a form of unity at the same time on a consistent basis, right? And how do you also as well get a controlled positive aggression, or rivalry against one another? And I'm saying to myself, saying to myself, you have to do it with some kind of sport.
Yeah, sport is.
You've got to do it with some kind of sport,
extremely important.
Right? But okay. But with sport, you need equipment, you need fields, you need open spaces, you need...
And more important than this, maintenance.
That's right. So, here's me, clever on, sitting here in Japan, and I'm saying to myself, damn, and I see this one really, really interesting, it's fucking crazy, man. Interesting, I don't think it's a sport. I wouldn't call it a sport, but I think you can create it into a sport. Well, it is a sport, actually, that they do here in Japan, and it's called Bo Taoshi.
Bo Taoshi?
Bo Taoshi. Bo is a pole, and Taos is to topple over the pole. So you have a team of, irrelevant how many people you have, all right? Probably it's a big team of 40 players, right? And 20 of the players are defense. It just depends. You've got to decide how many people that you want to put into defense and offense. And you have to protect a pole.
Doesn't sound good for Africans.
No, this is great. No, Karmo, this is great.
Fight.
Yes,
No,
yes,
this is, no.
yes. This is why, and this is why.
No.
This is why I think it's an absolute exceptional fucking game. Reason being, you don't need any particular field. It just needs to be an open space. Irrelevant. It just needs to be a fairly open space. Okay? You have two teams. You could do it on the beach. You could do it on a flat area. You could do it in the middle of the road, whatever the case is. You have two teams. One is defense, which is holding the pole, protecting the pole. You have one guy which sits on the pole, holding the pole like this. And then you have half of their team, when they say go, you got two teams. So the one team is protecting this one pole with the one guy on it, and the other team is protecting the one pole. So the whole game's interest is you have to take part of your team and attack, and you have to try and knock down this pole which they're protecting.
How do you attack?
Fucking straight in.
These people are dangerous for Africa.
No, the people are fucking diving straight in, and I think it would be perfect for Africa. I think it would be perfect for Africa because I'm just thinking as a point that you don't need maintenance. You just need one fucking pole. Yeah. That's all you need. One pole on either side. Okay, you just need a pole, and for them to be able to get a pole wouldn't be a problem. Okay, you need two poles. That's all you need. It's not a ball. It's not anything. It's not a court. You don't need any judges. Anything. And any fucking thing goes.
This is too dangerous. Sounds too dangerous for Africa.
No, but it's great because they do it here in Japan, and you see these young cadets. Fuck, they are nailing one another. And I said to myself, this would be a great sport that they could invent. The reason being, it doesn't cost money.
Yeah, I understand.
It doesn't cost money. It creates an interesting rivalry.
Not in Africa.
No. But I was thinking on a positive point of view.
Yeah, of course,
You-
in an
you-
ideal,
you-
in an ideal
That's right.
scenario.
That's right. In an ideal scenario, but you're creating this thing that you challenge each other, okay? And obviously you make it fair that there's only a certain amount of players to a certain amount of players. So basically you got to beef up your fucking players and you got to practice, okay? But at the same time as well, you're using this physical. And when obviously you only want to put guys in, if you want to do girls, then girls should be separate. I understand this is not a particular girls game. I haven't seen girls do it before. And you can be as rough as fuck. Obviously not biting and not kicking in the balls or whatever the case. Well, probably that may go on, I'm not sure.
There you go.
But these people diving on top of these guys trying to protect, and then the guy on the top, as they're trying to climb the pole to try and get on top of this guy, the guy on the top is kicking them down. He's kicking them down. So it's a wonderful, crazy fucking game. But I'm saying besides that, one, it doesn't cost much. Secondly,
I understand the good part.
yeah, that's right, the good part.
I understand the good
But
part.
what it does create, Karma, you see, it's always this reciprocation that I'm thinking of. This reciprocation, okay, of you saying, all right, we're going to make a national league, okay? And if you don't want to join, it's free to join. All you need to bring is a fucking pole. That's all you need to do. You need to bring a pole of a certain size and a certain whatever the case is, you know.
Our friend want to know the name of the game.
It's called Vol2. I'll write it in over here. You can find it on YouTube. It's crazy. I'm trying to.
I understand. In the perfect scenario, this would be something that the youth, the adults, they all could enjoy.
That's right.
But when you get 16 tribes who've been centuries killing each other, it sounds much more than a rivalry. It sounds more like a war.
That's right. So but you know, in another way as well, you don't need anybody to actually be a referee in the game. You don't.
It's getting worse.
No. The only thing that's refereeing is the same amount of people. That's all it is.
Yeah.
The same amount of people. Anything fucking goes.
Imagine.
And you know, obviously, you know, it's not football, it's not soccer, it's not rugby, it's not cricket, it's not basketball, it's not baseball, anything like that where you need a nice pitch, you need a nice, you know, cut grass, whatever. You need fuck all. You don't even need to wear shoes. Okay? You don't even need to wear shoes. You could be naked for all we care. Right? Okay? And any fucking thing goes. So you have this physical rivalry, which I think is really good for men. It's a very good because it's in our DNA. It's in our DNA to be physical. So in this game, it's not just only physical. So if you have 40 players, I don't know the number, but if you have 40 players, how many do you keep to protect, and how many do you use to attack the other team to try and put the pole down? You see, you got to be fucking clever. You see, you can't just use brute force, because if you leave your pole, means your pole becomes vulnerable. But if you don't attack with enough amount of guys, you can't topple their pole. So basically, you're losing from this side, you're gaining on the attack side, but then you're losing defense. So you got to be fucking clever. It's fucking genius. It's so simple and so raw, and you don't need a court. This is how I would do it. I would, you know, this is the game. And at the same time as well, when you have, I understand that they've been fighting, but won't you think that would be a great way of not legalizing it, but making it a let's say a sports rivalry, instead of this, you know, shoot one another rivalry, have a physical rivalry, but with the sole goal of who can pull down the pole first is the winner. Right? It's so simple, Karmo.
Yeah, sounds great, because it sounds extremely cheap and
that's right, super cheap,
easy to make it.
That's right,
But
super.
the other side, it's what scares me,
Which is
it's in Africa.
Yes.
And imagine like 16 tribes who's been killing themselves around the centuries,
Yes.
and putting them to try to have like a decent rivalry.
Yes.
And if of course there is always one winner and the aftermatch.
But can you imagine?
I understand. In the scenario that people can eat properly and they can like have the minimal amount of things. It's something that they can use all their energy because they have a lot of energy.
That's right. But you could. That's right. That's right. Lots of stress out, and also as well, you have the people cheering them.
Yeah.
Because Africa love to do.
That's why they love soccer.
That's right. They love the dance. They love the cheering on and that, and it is physical right in front of you. It is wow.
The problem, which only I think it's the aftermath. If some relative of someone show up with a AK-47,
oh shit!
Yeah?
You know, well then it's like welcome to Africa. This is how everything works.
Yeah, but I understand that's why they love very much soccer because they have this. They love to celebrate.
That's right.
Celebrate.
You see, and you see,
everything's a celebration.
That's right. It's about the celebration. You know, if you can have, or if you can train the people, you know, and this is being. Maybe I shouldn't give all my cards now, but if you could make the rule, and you know the rules in Africa don't apply really, but psychologically in a pattern, slowly but surely, okay, that you have this mutual way of being non-aggressive, that everybody is happy after the match, and you have to show mutual respect for the other person of saying thank you very much, and you're going around to say thank you. Obviously people will probably get very excited as well, but in the same sense as well, how do you get energy? How is this, you know, this energy is created?
Our friend Waterboy said, I think wrestling would be good also for them. In Dagestan, almost everyone wrestles there. The thing is, my friend, yeah, I know Dagestan is a powerhouse of wrestlers, but the thing is, in Dagestan, they share the same religion, they share basically the same values, and there is no tribal wars, like 16 ethnicities living tied together, killing each other for centuries. Of course, wrestling would be fantastic for any kind of sport.
Or maybe playing chess.
Any.
Hey. Yeah, but you need to get the chessboards there. No. They're probably no. It's wonderful thought though.
Any sport would be great for them, but I really do believe that for poor countries, especially those ones who are destroyed by civil wars, collective sports are more interesting. I think it's more because they can develop a collective mindset, which is so important for the development of a society.
Yes.
You know.
I think it is so important.
That's why they love soccer. Make no mistake, Africans, they love interaction with people. They
absolutely.
The problem is that people should understand they have very serious limitations, and when I'm talking about limitations, it's this kind of limitation.
Yep, it's very unfortunate, but this is a fact.
I'm just describing the grass being green, you know, not being derogative or not being mean or anything. It's just they have a limitation.
No, not at all.
And this is something who takes time. And for an African, especially an African poor country, to things becoming too physical, too much rivalry, it's too easy to get personal, and when you get personal, you get emotional, and when you get emotional, you do anything else.
Yes.
You know, that's why I believe also in the power of responsibility, in a way that, for example, that's why soccer is so important there, because you have a small group of people who have the responsibility to administrate the soccer in the country.
Right.
And this creates a sense of unity that they need very much. That's why
I said sport.
Yeah.
It's got to be sport, Karmo.
But I understand your good intention, but this sounds very. Of course, in the
Well, yeah,
with the
well,
minimum of the development,
that's
would
right.
be great. Would be fantastic because
That's right.
there are lots of people. It's very cheap. There is no maintenance, basically.
Yes. You know, it doesn't have to be. I mean, I was giving an extreme example. Cheers, man. I was giving an extreme example, but at the same time as well, I just said to myself, like the penny dropped, and I said, it has to be
And we
massive.
gotta play with extremes too, Arne.
That's right.
Can't be always on
But
the soapy side of life.
that's right. It had to be. It had to be something that you had this rivalry.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoopee on the head. It had to be the rivalry, and at the same time as well, it had to be people cheering other people on.
Yeah,
This
of
is
course.
this is very important, because you see, the minute you get this wonderful feeling of togetherness, then you understand that when you work together, you feel good.
Of course, the sense of unity.
And really, what a boy! This is why we're trying to encourage you. That's why we're trying to encourage you to be really positive about what you do, because the more you think about all of these wonderful things, and surround yourself with positive people, don't make a mistake. 100% you will start feeling positive.
And my friend, make no mistake. Associate yourself with positive people. Why I say this? Because
Time.
of course, time, energy, and resources.
Don't waste your time, energy, and resources on people that give you anything negative.
Yeah,
Tear it up, throw in the bus, and don't even read further.
yeah. And it's important to understand that, I believe you understand, this is part of life. Many people bring their own misfortune. It
100%.
happens. It happens. It happens. And we should, of course, we shouldn't lose the hope on people.
No.
But first, build yourself. Build yourself first. And then you can start to spread this. Otherwise, it's just a balloon of nothing. You're just going to be inflating yourself full of nothing. So first yourself, and then you can start to think too. Of course, we always should think about help people, and I particularly like the idea of it's hard to say this word, but anyway, people just using a bad way, like charity.
Yeah.
To really personal charity, that one who is no one looking, the real one. You're
Yes.
doing because you feel empathy, because you want the person feel good, living better, you know? So associate yourself with positive people, okay? This is very, 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 very important.
Because it encourages you. It really, really encourages you. It doesn't waste your time,
Or maybe playing chess.
you know, or it doesn't waste your time, and it doesn't waste your energy either. Or you're using, you know, whatever other energy or your resources that you have. Don't associate yourself with anything that is negative. Just really cut it. It's a cancer. It is a cancer which spreads really easily, and you need to cut it out. The minute you sense it, cut it. Cut.
Yeah.
The minute you cut, really, there is no possible
And
way that
what-
you go down.
And we're saying about cutting, it's also important to remember not saying a emotional way.
No,
When you
absolutely not.
should cut when you see, oh, okay, well, I wanted to help this person, but the person is in a mindset that the person is producing their own bad results, bringing their own misfortune. So you see this as a red line, and you think, no, from here ahead, it's a bad track.
Yeah.
So don't go. Follow what Mother Nature gives you as an instinct. You know, when Mother Nature teaches us that zebras don't sleep with lions, it's pretty much in life too. It's very obvious. We don't need to make intellectual contortionism to try to make the situation look different. No. See things as they are. Situations should be dealt. You should deal with situations the way they are. You should deal with the reality the way the reality is.
Yeah, we're not contortionists,
No,
really.
don't need to do
The
contortionism.
media likes to, I don't even know, contortion. It's basically just the mindset that we look at every single thing that gets thrown at us, And if you have the ability to be, to change and chop and thing like that, it's not us listening to all of that. It's no ways. And that's why Karmo and I, we will just not accept. It doesn't fit in our head. It's not in our vocabulary to try and understand that stupidity.
Yeah.
No, just won't accept. I will not accept
because we see the contortionism. For example, I'm gonna give the example Africa again. I keep repeating. Gonna give an example. Because I'm teacher. No?
That's right.
So it's the teacher's habit. So it's like Africa this, Africa that, because there's the entrepreneurs coming from Africa, and there is this project and this and that, and maybe this is gonna happen in the future. This is just lots of bullshit. There is no concrete actions. There is no doing. I'm doing this. It's happening. It's all illusions. It's a contortionist to try to bring people hope. No, Africa gonna be great. Africa this and no. Africa is already great. It's a fantastic continent full of natural resources. But the people it's messed up. It's the truth.
And this is the dishonesty. This is the big honest dishonesty that you have on social media, pushing the agenda of certain African people, that this guy's a genius, he's made this wonderful project, this, then the next thing. Well, you got to think about it. You got to come back. You got to go back a couple of steps, and you got to say to yourself, all right, if you are a genius and you have a really, really, really good project, do you think it's going to end in Africa on a third world continent? Or are you going to a first world continent to go and sell it to the world and surround yourself with first world technology? You, more than likely, more than 90% of the people which are real genius, they will not be left behind in Africa. They will move 100%. I was just saying, Karmo, there's no possible way that these geniuses will stay on a third world continent. They will move.
Why they should?
Yeah, that's right. 90% of them will move to first world there's probably a small percentage which we love Africa and my family's there, or for some particular reason that they will stay there. I understand. But when you tell me that this is a genius, he made this, he probably did. And even if he did, he's not staying in Africa. He is moving. So this is the absolute dishonesty that they're trying to pump into us. It's a lie. It is a lie.
Yeah, because if the person, starting from the idea that if the person is that smart, first thing the person will want to do is get the hell out of there. It's very obvious. Not,
That's a da.
It's
It's
a
really da.
Da. Get the hell out of Africa. What the hell are you doing here?
That's right. If you're not going there for a holiday, you're not going to be working there. Yes, I understand there are certain people that are over there for certain reasons. Diamonds, mining diamonds, mining other things, and that's
Elon Musk still live there?
Elon Musk, no.
Guy's a billionaire. He can buy
Africa. Elon Musk is going to Mars. That's where he's going to. But I'm not going because Mars doesn't have 7-Eleven. And I love 7-Eleven. Come on. Sorry, not the 7. I'm not sure the 7-Eleven in the States, but when you come to Japan, really would like to introduce you to the 7-Eleven and the Family Marts and all the convenience stores that we have here. They are exceptional. You can buy not this shirt, but you can buy a white shirt for work. You can buy socks. You can buy shaving cream. You can buy a telephone charger. You can buy every little. You can buy ear plugs or whatever the case is. You can buy Google cards. You can buy, trust me, you can buy almost everything, and really good tasting food. Like seriously good tasting food. I'm not joking. It's really good quality.
It's like those billionaires who put money in Africa. Come on now. Billions of dollars. Come on.
They don't.
No, we can sit all together, everyone who is watching right now, and we're talking about $1 billion is 1,000 millions. Okay?
That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, I like this proportion. And $1 million, it's 10 times 100,000. $100,000.
Yeah.
Okay, with $100,000, you can do a lot in Africa.
Yep.
You can do. If you want to use this money to help.
Yes.
Oh boy, you can do a lot.
And I really recommend, me coming from Africa, do not donate.
Don't donate.
Don't ever fucking donate to Africa, because really that is the worst.
No. Don't do it.
Because really it's going
ridiculous.
into somebody's bank account, and it's fucking staying there for his personal use.
No.
You take the money, or you go to Africa and you pull out the money a little bit at a time, or you pay for whatever that you want to buy, or for the betterment or the upgrade of a country. Do not donate. Really, donation, I will tell you honestly now, does not, 90% more of the time, does not reach the actual people. And if it is, it's a fucking anal percent, like
and
this much.
Imagine again, coming again to this
That's
sense,
dishonest.
this sense of proportion.
Unfortunate, but true.
100,000, you can do a lot. $100,000.
That's right.
$1 million, man. Then you can save a village and pump this village up.
But will the government let you do it? That's the other story.
That's another subject. Okay, I'm gonna go there. And then when you get $10 million, Jesus, it's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. You can do. Probably you can make the base of a small city in Africa. It's very very simple
easy.
to understand, because I know a bit of the Liberian economy. And $100 million, man, this sounds like too much money for Africa. Sounds like you saving a big part of maybe a small state, or something like. Not even maybe, you can do save a small state. And then we have $1 billion. What you can do with $1 billion in Africa?
That's a lot of money.
And how many billions of dollars went to Africa already?
That's right. How many billions of dollars, and what have they done with the $1 billion besides putting it in their own bank account?
It's donating to the white South Africans' bed. Well, today.
Well, why do you want to donate to the white South Africans? It's not. I don't see the. Sorry. I don't know.
Because, for example, I want to be like the devil's lawyer. For
Please.
example, me, I wouldn't donate money to a black South African institution, or.
No, never.
I wouldn't. That's why I think he's asking about white.
African.
I wouldn't.
African.
I'm sorry, but I wouldn't.
I recommend you don't. Personally, I recommend that you don't donate to any African. Go to Africa, see what it is, and say, right, let's buy this, and you pay for it online.
Yeah.
When it arrives, that I understand.
Or you create your own thing to yourself, get money, and then you know where is the money, and then what you can do, and then you go there physically. You go there and do something. Otherwise, my friend, is just like shooting to the sky,
Carmo, I'm telling you now, one container full of these poles for this. One container full, and maybe some sort of rugby head helmets. Not a helmet.
They got to build hospitals with those poles.
Hey, they're going to say the sports suit off. No, it's not. No, it's not. Why?
No.
You can go softly if you want to, but they choose to go hard.
I understand him, because the problem is, for example, the white South Africans now, the ones who live in Africa, they basically, they can't leave their properties, and
they can't sell.
They can't sell, and they are all the time at the risk to being murdered. So I don't believe this is really a situation that you would put yourself in a mindset to help. Your antagonists. Something like. Can they carry guns?
Of course.
They can.
Why not? It's still a free country.
My friend, if you are white South African and you live there and you don't carry a gun, Good luck to you.
You know, I still think some people are naive
Delusional.
or delusional. Put it this way, I think it's a very personal thing. For me, going back to South Africa, I'm not going, but I should say I'm not going. Besides a holiday. For me, if I had to go back, I would probably get a weapon. I would arrive and get myself a weapon. Absolutely. You know, it's when I can see a person walking towards me with a weapon, it's like, and I have nothing. It's like, no ways. No ways.
I'd like to donate a ghillie suit or maybe a bulletproof equipment for farmers, my friend.
But
if you really consider this, if you really consider donate to the white farmers this kind of equipment, I suggest you to do, because this literally can save people. You're not being apocalyptic or no. Those fucking things are happening there.
No,
you know.
I'm going to give you a interesting society. This is not governmental, and they are not aggressive at all. They are, and they've actually been to America. They've been around America as well. It is, please, man. All right. So I've gone and put it up over there. It's called Saitlanders. Sait is Southlanders. South Africans. It is a white only. Well, no, it's not. I don't know. I think, you know, it's sort of Afrikaans, Dutch heritage people that have lived in South Africa for a very, very long time. And if this society, they are completely non-aggressive, but and they've actually traveled around the whole of America as well, asking people to help for donations, and that they are preparing for the apocalypse of South Africa. They are preparing for it to protect children and to protect elderly people. If a genocide happens in South Africa, they are preparing themselves. Do those people have weapons? Some of them do, but they're not armed as a armed force kind of thing.
Which they should, in my opinion.
Well, I don't think that they can say too much, because then they get classed as a certain category, and they say that they're not. Do some people in their organization carry weapons? Yes, they carry weapons, but they don't. It's not like they're doing, you know, stupid Antifa, anti-this or crazy,
no,
you know.
Not. It's
nothing.
Community defense.
It is super, super, super peaceful, like seriously peaceful, and they promote it really, really well. You can jump onto YouTube and you can see the way that they have been around to really big enterprises as well, asking for donations as well. And these people, I would probably say this could be a problem. You say for donating to white people, then that would probably be the entity which I could recommend. I don't know enough. I was able, fortunately, to actually contact the guy that is spreading the word about this. A guy, he's only 47 years old. And he's very, very passionate about it as well, but he's really anti. But I unfortunately think sometimes when I listen to him that he's unfortunately losing faith sometimes, because I think there must be so many people sending so many, you know, messages of how their families are being killed. And I'm not, and this is, and don't make a mistake, this guy is, they're not racist. They're not racist. He says, I'm just protecting my tribe. You didn't talk about color.
I have very few words for South Africans, especially the those one living there,
Except me.
except you.
And MC Hammer.
It a very few words for them, which is when the white people are gone from South Africa, you can just wait the Chinese man slavery. And this gonna happen because they believe they selling their countries to China. It's a big movement, it's a big deal, it's a big business, and they killing the white people and wanting to have the white people fall. Let me tell you one thing to the Africans. Chinese people, they have killed 90 million of their own people. You really do think they care about killing Africans?
Not 9, 90
90.
million.
They don't care to pass the compressor, the steel roll in Africa and flatten whole Africa. They don't fucking care.
Because they want what's underneath in the ground.
They don't fucking care. So when the white man in Africa is gone, they can just wait the Chinese slavery. It is what gonna happen. 100%. 100%.
Don't be against us. Just think of it as a reality coming to you. And when it does become a reality, and what Karmo said actually comes to fulfillment, it's not like he's a prophet or anything like that. It's just looking at a mere number and looking at history. That's all.
I'm certain how this gonna happen, as I'm certain that Hong Kong gonna fall and Taiwan gonna fall.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's something interesting for all of you on our previous channel. Previous stream. Karmo said something interesting, and I hadn't thought of it. Karmo's actually pretty switched on with the Chinese politics and that, and everybody's pointing finger at Hong Kong about what's happening in Hong Kong.
It's firecrackers.
That's right, firecrackers. Hong Kong will fall.
It's
not
a doubt.
It's not.
Jesus
It's we can't even argue. It's not fighting anything like that. You're against communism and you're against more than 1 billion people. How is it possible that you can win? Okay, that's one thing. Secondly, when Hong Kong falls, Taiwan's next. And after Taiwan, Africa. Watch and see.
Yeah. And because it's like, if the Africans, they think that the dialogue with the white man, it's hard. They think it's hard. They think it's complicated. It's something who makes them emotional, or even because the white people most of times are wanting to have a discussion. Most of times want to reach into a good conclusion of something, and they tend to fulfill their agreement. Okay. Chinese people, the Chinese, especially the Chinese government, okay, they don't discuss. They order and they do, and they don't consider the human life. It's nothing. 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 100,000, 1 million. That it's nothing. It's nothing.
They have a
it's
billion.
Nothing for them. It's
they have
nothing.
a billion.
They don't consider. There's nothing they can do to stop. Against the white people, the Africans, and the people behind them. The agendas can pump on the media because white people are terrible, white people this, white people that, Mama Africa this, make Africa black again that, this and that. But when the white men disappear from Africa, they will need to deal with the Chinese. And they're gonna tell you.
Woo!
And they're gonna tell you.
They're not nice.
Chinese people don't give a fuck about press. They don't give a damn about anything else. They're just gonna do.
That's it. That's it.
Bob Duff,
Bob
how are you,
Duff.
my friend?
What up? How's it going?
Fantastic.
Thanks
How
for
are
joining. So, yeah, like Kamo says, you think the white colonies the white colonials and the white colonial rule, Africa is really, really bad, you are gravely mistaken.
How are you today, Duff?
It is the Chinese. It is not the whites, because you can eradicate the whites from Africa. But let me tell you, when the Chinese are buying out Africa at a speed nobody's even talking about. Mozambique, the country right next to South Africa, okay, little over 10 years, the place has been so deforest. What's the word? Deforest. They have cut down so many trees.
We're fantastic today. Thanks for asking.
Thank you so much, man. We hope that you're good too. They have cut down so many trees in Mozambique, and you know where all the trees are going? They're going to China. They're shipping it all out. The China iron in Liberia.
This is
the China iron in Liberia, the China rail iron. This is all being shipped out to China. No, it's all legal, according to the government. But they only have 20% drinking water in the capital, Monrovia, and they want to put an airport in the middle of Monrovia. Are you fucking drunk? Or are you just fucking stupid? Or don't you have two neurons, as Karma always says, to rub together to try and think the next step? Because you as the government officials, having $15,000 US dollars salary every single month,
every month,
fuck all for the betterment of your fucking people. And this is the attitude.
Imagine to our few and very precious viewers.
Thank you.
The very interesting number of in Liberia, Africa, West Africa, okay? One of the 5 poorest countries in the planet. The senators receive as salary $15,000 US dollars as a salary every month. Not talking about car, help expenses, hotels, etc. They have many others. They receive cash clean, $15,000 monthly in one of the 5 poorest countries in the planet. This is 15,000 of dishonesty.
$15,000 of fucking dishonesty there.
It doesn't sound reasonable because $15,000 monthly, it's a lot of money in Japan, it's a lot of money in Germany, it's a lot of money in Sweden, it's a lot of money anywhere. And in Liberia they do this.
I don't even want to know how much money certain politicians in Liberia and China is making with all the iron ore, the high grade iron ore that they are pumping out of Liberia at a rate we can't even fucking believe. One of the highest what is it? High iron? No.
That iron ore has one of the
highest, high quality,
yeah,
high grade.
It's one of the highest grades of iron ore in the planet. They have a very high concentration of iron in the soil. It's something between 75 to 85% of iron. You basically put your shovel and get iron ore. It's ridiculous. It's super rich in iron ore. High grade, very easy to manufacture. You know?
They have so much money, and for them the agenda is to pump as much money out and to pump as much money into their bank accounts. Carmo, it's not 15,000 US dollars just into their bank account. That's what we know of.
Of course.
They're being pumped millions.
Of course.
Millions.
It's
While China sucks them, the politicians win, and the people below don't have fresh drinking water in the capital of Monrovia. 20% is drinkable, all the rest. And water, hygiene, and health is not on the agenda.
It's not one of their priorities.
It's not their priorities.
They said water. It's not priority. Jesus Christ.
It's not an important priority. We need, but it's not important.
You see the other thing which is extremely messed up is that there is a mix of perversion, evil, and naiveness of those governments who deal with China because they want the money.
That's right.
Africans like the money here right now to expand, They think dealing with China, they dealing with white democracy, which is used to sit and discuss, to give chances, to give time, to try to be reasonable, to try to be even a bit emotional. I want to understand a bit your situation. I want to make, maybe try to help you in the future. Maybe I'm gonna pardon this. Man, Chinese government is a communist government. They are savage. There is no second round.
No.
There's no third round. It's everything over, finished in the first assault. There is no talk. It's you said you do, and if we buy your land, like Mr. George Weah, president of Liberia, already gave the permission for foreigner capital to buy properties in Liberia. For the Chinese, my friend, they have all the money that they can print. They just print tons of money. They make a billionaire, not 15 billionaires, 100 billionaires right now, and they buy everything. And once they buy their land, they don't live there anymore. Or the African countries think they can take back like they do with white farmers in South Africa.
Or you can try.
Well, they can try.
They can try.
Their country is going to be replaced by a very nice helicopter parking lot. They're going to just flatten it all.
And trust me, they'll build the wall too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You're not going to see Mexicans in Africa.
That's right. They're going to build the wall. They will build the fucking wall. And inside the wall will be China.
Yeah,
and
we
all the
have-
rest will be the fucking Africa as crazy as hell as you can imagine.
Do you guys think communists could ever be
Feasible.
feasible like half of America thinks? Please, you first.
I'll just say two words. On paper. On paper. Please.
I believe communism works if it is a software. I
Yeah, he
believe-
said software, I said on a piece of paper.
yeah.
Same thing.
Mm,
Well,
no, communism it's utopic ideology and it's inhumane ideology. It's very dangerous and
we'll put it this way.
no,
Yeah,
no isms.
no isms. Well, tell me, has communism ever worked? That's the question.
I want the perestroika software.
Yeah. No. Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Communism. That's what it's good on paper.
It's just perfect for software.
It's perfect for software, but fortunately, we are humans, and we have feelings and emotions, right? And these are the things that we need to sort of, for the betterment of ourselves. And there's many, many factors which affect this. And because of that, an on and off switch of a computer will unfortunately not be able to solve that.
People who believe in communism, socialism, they are people who are disconnected to the
Delusional?
reality, and it's ideologies who never worked before, never gonna work. It's being proved. It's being gave us many examples. As for example, communism and socialism killed more people in the 20th century, more people than all natural disasters. So it's
No, it
a
isn't,
two-
but we do live in capitalism.
Depend, and capitalism. It's like in the raw way, in the raw perspective, can be also perverse. Of course, can
Yes.
be also perverse.
Before it's been refined.
Yeah. What I think about National Socialism, man! Now you,
What a boy!
Now you want to have my channel or channel
Oh,
banned,
you're,
right?
you're really trying to trigger us.
Yeah.
Trigger us! Come on! Shoot us. See, even MC Hammer says, MC, what do you think? Do it.
He's not doing hail, ne?
No.
Hail.
Just do the hammer.
Man, I think many things about National Socialism. Many things. And this is, I'm not being soapy, but this is a subject that we've been preparing for a very important long stream that we want to do, talking very specifically about World War II, ideologies, and we've been preparing the material because we don't like to bring things empty, like just empty words for you all. But I do think many things about National Socialism. Yes, I do think. Okay? I do think many things about. And communism, as I say, communism, socialism, it's just thing of delusion. It's past, it's over, and forget. If this is, people live in these, I don't know, most of the time the people who believe in socialism and communism are usually sons and daughters of a very capitalist and conservative parents. So they have all the money of their parents to expand.
Fairy tale.
Yeah.
Fairy tale. That's what it is. Or if
Fairy tale.
you know, if you think that you can
Thank you, Duff.
Thank you, Duff.
I was being soapy.
That's right. Very, very soapy, like the politicians. Very, very soapy.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult to try and grab them. And if you're able to sort of half grab the leg, then they say we have no recollection. You know, and that well, anyway, that's another subject. And that's the whole story of Africa. When you corner a person off, I have no recollection, or it gets burnt, or they vanish, or something. That's what it is.
And I don't know, people. For example, in United States, it's the capitalism in US. It's necessary as a fuel in the car. You know, it's what United States breeds. It's part of the United States culture. It's part of their living. It's part of their mindset. And the way they have capitalism, it's my opinion, okay? It's my opinion. The way they live today, it's something that United States acquired.
That's right.
Was not given.
No.
They acquired. So I kind of,
that's their freedom.
because I believe in merit, I believe part of they really do deserve to have, but it's a consumption and superficial ideology based. Well, it's something earned. It was not imposed, you know.
No.
So it's very. I'm not being soapy again, but it's my belief. It's my belief. Of course, there is many faults on capitalism. There is many criticism on capitalism, but
right.
I'm more focused on the reality. And at the end, I really don't care about those fucking political theories. They are like excuses to do mass genocides, you know. Money is power.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Money is power. But should we put money over people? That's a very simple question, you know. So,
and that's why the whole of Africa.
First time they asked about national
socialism.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's all good. It's all good. It's about
gonna
the thought.
Gonna happen.
It's about the thought process.
Gonna happen.
It's completely about the thought process,
yeah,
and the way that people think about it calmly, without emotions, without
don't give spoilers.
That's right. No spoilers. You know, without being aggressive. You know, just making normal conversation.
One in 3 young Americans are pro-socialism because they never lived in any socialist or communist country.
Come to Africa. Come to Africa.
They just reading the textbooks given in Berkeley, given, you know, in those universities.
But YouTube said, you know, I mean, you get. I was watching this. You know,
that's the fucking problem with the click generation.
That's right. It's this anxiety.
Go to Venezuela. Exactly.
That's right. Go to Venezuela. Go. If you believe.
Go to Nicaragua.
Go to Nicaragua. If you believe that socialism is so good, Go and have a look, and if you survive after a week of being there, before you get diarrhea or stabbed
Yeah,
or raped.
for example, it's very simple.
Oh, come on.
I have many friends from Cuba. Friends from Cuba. They don't live in Cuba anymore, otherwise I wouldn't talk with them. But I have friends in Cuba who lives in US and in Brazil. And if you have the chance to talk with someone from Cuba or have a Cuban family, how they, I'm gonna use the word, how they hate communism. They hate with all their strength. If was that good, would be the reverse, would be people from US going to Cuba, not people from Cuba going to US.
No.
It's very, very simple. It's a matter of, it's a physical thing. You can see, you can understand what the hell is going on there. So it's just a delusional thing. And of course, the universities, that's why I say it's a cultural war. It's not a physical war. The cultural war is the most important one. That's why the universities plays the major role changing the youth mentality to become those shitheads. Because in the cultural war, while the conservatives and right wingers are thinking on the border and the criminals, this is the now. This is the strategy for now. But those communists and socialists and those people, the progressists also, they are in the education institutions.
Yeah.
A long time. And the damage, it's ginormous because they've been forming generations of intellectuals. They own the academy. They own the narrative because they are the teachers, the directors, and because they have the authority argument, because I'm a teacher, because I'm a director of a teaching educational institution, I have the authority to say what is good or not. You don't know. I know. See how dangerous. That's why I say the war.
So it's basically you have fuck all freedom.
The war is the cultural war. Cultural war is the real war. It's not the physical war. This is just now. This is it now. You know? If Bernie Sanders becomes president, we have a now. Don't fear this.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
It's not gonna happen.
He doesn't. I don't think he's got enough speed. Yes, ha. Then I think that the US and fascism and socialism, I think we could destroy the US.
Wow, 100%.
Yes. You know, I've got a good word, Kanma. I just thought of it now. These not social justice warriors, but these people which
Socialists.
they're socialists, and that's okay.
Progressists.
They're not actually socialists. They're romantists.
Yeah, they're romantics.
They're romantists. They're living in a dream world.
Yeah, and because it's like that's why I say the war is cultural, because while the progressists, who are the majority on the universities, they have this fake air, okay, of intellectuality. They are cool, they are connected with art, they are atheists, they are agnostics, they are like, you know, I'm kind of more intellectual.
And the world owes me everything.
This is all a balloon of air. This is all a balloon of air.
The world owes them everything.
Yeah, and it's all a balloon of air, and it's like they have this kind of empty speech who attracts the youth who don't have a very stable family, who don't have very strong family values. And if a mind of a teenager, especially a 16-year Swedish teenager, if it's not prepared to deal with reality, not emotion, because emotion is for children and facts are for adults, okay? If you want to act emotionally, like the progressives and those things act emotional, no, this is nothing. This is emotional. We can't listen this. We as adults, we should deal with facts. Yeah, anarchists. Yeah, of course. There is many the branches. No? So the problem is in the universities, in the education institutions, the art, the entertainment business, because those people who are in the universities today, tomorrow they are in Hollywood making blockbusters, which the white guy became the idiotic and the lesbian and the black guy became the heroes, and the villain is the blonde. This no, I'm not.
Yeah, but
You know, no.
it's
You
true.
know how things change. It's
Yeah.
fucking true. People understand what I'm saying. Not make no mistake. I love everyone. I love black people. I love you. I love Whoopi Goldberg.
And anarchists.
I love everyone.
And anarchists as well. Yeah.
I love everyone. But the thing is, the cultural war, switching everything.
It's telling you that up is down.
Yeah, it's like
And the grass is not green anymore, it's blue.
The damage is gonna be very big because it's everything going toward the progressist thought. Progressist thought. Let's be progressive. Let's not be attend to religion or this or that. You know, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. U.S. wouldn't be U.S. if it wasn't a Christian nation. I got to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you.
I
That
got
one.
to say,
I'm gonna
okay?
agree with you on that one.
So
I'm gonna agree with you.
when you want to detach yourself from your own roots, you want to forget your past. I'm sorry, but you're just gonna repeat all the mistakes in the future.
You know, but you see, they're very, very clever. They don't change one major thing. They change it really, really slowly, without you noticing. Click, click, click. It's one small movement at a time. One small movement at a time. And as long as you are creating and you are using the young generation's emotion and these emotions, the minute you get them emotional, you are able to drive them left, right, up, down, forward, backwards. It is so easy. It's like a joystick. It is like a joystick, but you've got to create this emotion. Stop, move away from the facts, get to the emotions. And that's why Kanmo and I, we talk about in our channel, we try to be as honest as possible. We try to bring the facts to the table, and we try not to be aggressive. We don't have to be aggressive to anybody. Please sit down. Bring, pull up a chair. Grab your favorite, beverage. Get your snacks ready. And that's the way that Karmo and I, that's the way that we started. We started with this great positive energy and thought that we are able to sit down and speak about these things. We should speak about these things all the time.
My father is a police officer as well. The amount of shit they get, it's insane. I know. I know. I worked in special forces in Brazil, so I know how it's like. Yeah, I know. I know exactly what you're talking about. People don't know the reality. They are delusional. They don't know anything. And you, as a
educated person,
a son of police man or of an officer, you understand what I'm talking about. People don't know. They think they know the reality, but they don't know.
It's way, as Kanmo explained to me once, and this was a wonderful reality check for me. When he explained to me, he said, "On, if you can imagine the craziest fucking thing, like the craziest fucking thing that a human can do to another one, okay? The craziest thing. I'm not being sexual, or you want to be sexual, fine, whatever the case.
Yeah.
Whatever,
It's everything. There's no limit.
Everything. There's no limit. If you can imagine it, people are doing it. That's the fucked upness. Come on, look what's happening now in the US, how they covered up with Muammar Gaddafi and the team of royalty, famous people, really high people. Epstein, yeah. Everybody involved, and all of a sudden, people start vanishing. People start dying.
They're disappearing.
They start,
that's
disappearing.
magic.
That's right. It's all this crazy stuff of how they're able to clean it up. How they're able to clean it up. Here we go.
I can see. They say fuck the police and call. Then when their house is being broken into. Pedophilia, it's nothing. Yeah, it is a big deal. I'm sorry, it is a big deal. But I mean, in the sense of proportion of what they do.
But it's really interesting as well. I'm not sure if you've listened to some of our stuff before, but what Kanmo says in South America,
Nice.
pedophilia Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's what the prison, inside the prison, they do to pedophilia. Pedophilia is probably the lowest, right?
Yeah, pedophilia and rape
is
you instantly killed.
You're dead.
Yeah.
When you arrive at jail.
And, for example, and one important thing to say to Bob, to Waterboy, it is, for example, the people as was I dealing with criminals and etc. And seeing those universities baby boys and those social justice warriors talking about violence, talking about crime, talking about color, talking about this and that, they never stepped in a prison. They don't have a glimpse of the raw reality of things. Raw. I'm talking about very fucking raw reality, okay? Right now.
Woo!
Not what they think, not what their teacher said, or what their mama said, or their grandmama, or their aunts. No, I'm talking about the fucking man's world. If you are a rapist, if you are a pedophile, like the progressives in universities try to pushing this right now, because it's fine if you have sexual relationship with childs. Yeah, it's fine. If you go to prison and they know two things: or you become a girl, or you dead. There's no third one. Only two. Okay? Yes, I've been here. I was trolling you guys hard on the first stream, making fun of you guys being for being against the gay. I remember you, Duff. No, but I loved everything. I remember you. Of course, it's fantastic. I remember you very well. That's why I was so happy to have you.
Don't drop the soap.
Don't drop the soap.
Don't worry. They don't need to.
Now, if you are a pedophile in the prison, the soap is already inside of you, and much more things.
No. I don't think they wouldn't have soap. They want to.
No. If you are a pedophile, you have no chance. The last thing you have is chance, and the last thing you have is wanting something
to survive.
Yeah.
You will be.
And it's funny. It's funny that when I see those, that's why I love everyone. I love people. I love everyone. But when I see those people coming straight from the university, like fresh ones, they still have their dreadlocks. They still wearing tie-dye.
No. The cabbages.
Yeah,
they haven't cleaned behind the ear. The cabbage is growing.
They still have their tie-dye shirts, and they want to talk about color. They want to talk about racism. They want to talk about those things. And if they go to prison, the first thing they're gonna see is natural and pure segregation. Otherwise, you don't survive. So, I believe, as a realist, I believe the world of prison represents much better than anything that those tie-dye people, the girls boys and the boys girls, believe what they said, that 100% with the prison reality, you know?
Because that's the way that
that's the
society
way it is.
That's the rules of society.
Yeah. And I think also they need more training. If you want to become a police officer, you should be highly trained. There's no half training. If you're not fully committed to your profession, especially those ones who involve risks and human life risks, you shouldn't do, basically, because when you go to duty, when you go to work, and or your father knows this very well, probably Duff, you going to basically to kill or being killed. Of course, there is the law enforcement, it's protect and serve, but who knows the reality? Who knows the things without the whipped cream, without the strawberries? They know streets are war. It's not a Forbes magazine. It's not Hollywood. You know, it's very fucking. Of course, people in poor areas, dangerous areas, most of them are good people. I understand. I know. I came from favela. It's a freaking slum. We didn't have water, food, anything. It was real misery. I know. I lived there. But the problem is, as I explained before to one of our friends here in the channel, when you have a community who it's consisted by zebras and you have a portion of lions, if you don't control the lions, the zebra is gonna disappear, and then you're gonna have a mountain of lions who are gonna start to kill each other. So you can preserve the zebras, sometimes killing a part of the lions,
culling the lions.
or I don't know. You can change the way I say, put in the prison or whatever. But it is what it is. It
Yes.
is what it is. There is no theories on that. There is just the reality. Forget isms. It's the thing as the way they are. You know.
And always, as Karma says, and this is really so massive reality and slap in the face, the people who think they know, you know, fresh, as Karma says, fresh out of university, fresh out of YouTube, fresh off whatever it is, it's you don't know anything yet, and that's why it's really interesting for us as well, the way that we look at the way the world can freak out so much about stupid things, but the real actual problems, when we look at Africa, and these are the raw problems. I mean, no fucking drinking water. You know, it is no drinking water, but the people are crying about hate crimes, about verbal discrimination, about really the absolute fluff. It's not even dust. It's not even dust. Because this is what affects them. They have never ever seen reality and the raw part of reality. And when they see this, then I think the mentality will change, boom, in an instant.
No, not gonna happen. And you see how those things discussed, especially in US, are irrelevant, or how part of them are disconnected to the realities, especially coming from those people that I just said. For example, coming back to Africa, okay, just to understand. A few weeks ago, had one Swedish committee. There are many Swedish people from police and government, not many, but some came to Liberia. Listen, to talk about gender-based violence in Liberia.
What?
In Liberia. This sounds realistic for you guys? This sounds something realistic?
Wow.
I wanna.
You serious?
Yeah. They're already.
They're fucking delusional, man. What drugs are they smoking? That's ridiculous, Carmel.
Fuck no. Fuck yes. It happened, my friend. It happened. It happened.
Seriously?
Yeah. It happened. So, you see, you can understand how fucked up is the situation, and how the damage is huge, and how there is the collateral damage. It's so fucking huge, from Sweden to Liberia. You know, in Sweden, which basically the academia, the university, are basically 90% of progressists, okay? They bringing more progressist ideas to a country who the last thing that they need is think about a specific, if happen, gender-based policies. Since they had civil war for more than 16 years and a death toll ridiculously high, they don't have water, they don't have food, and the police should think, and they should receive resources to fight against gender-based violence.
I'll tell you who was laughing.
I don't get surprised because
the Africans were pissing in their pants with laughter. They were pissing in their pants with laughter when the Swedish people left and said like, "What the fuck are those people?" And for an African to say to a person who's supposed to be educated to say that, damn, that's really, really, really damn. Like seriously, that's like seriously. It's just ridiculous. They're going to be pissing in their pants with laughter.
You see, the capital of the city, the capital of the country, Monrovia, the capital of Liberia.
Yeah.
Okay, they only have 20% of drinkable water, the water that you can consume. Okay, only 20% of the places have in the capital, which is supposed to be the role model. And you need 3 basic things to make a healthy society: proper water, shelter, basic education. Gender-based violence of the police, it's not on those 3. So
I just agreed.
Why they wasting their time, their energy, and their resources on this? That it's when it comes to African dishonesty. It's a switch of perspective, and it's a contortionism, intellectual contortionism to enter on this denial, this reality denial state.
Yes.
Like they said, they just said actually, water, it's not the priority in Liberia. They said that it is a statement. They said water,
health.
What whole water. Of course, nothing in Africa makes us surprised anymore. But fantastic, James. Welcome back, my friend. I was missing you already. So, water is not important.
Water is not important. Health is not important, and hygiene is not important. And talking on the subject of hygiene, this is like, you want to hear fucked up, and I mean seriously fucking fucked up. Okay, so I was just talking about the water and about them not having enough water. No, Karma's going to talk about the wonderful dump that they have in the middle of.
I'm keeping.
Oh man, this is okay. Okay, Karma's going to explain about this.
One airport.
What are
you know?
That's what it is. That's what it is. So
first airport, 2, 3. It's unbelievable. It's mind blowing.
We need an airport. We need to have nice big building for the government. We need nice houses for the government. We need the airport and a road to the airport from the house, with cars as well, which are donated by everybody else. I mean, it's fucked up. Okay, Carmel, go for it. I'm going to shoot to the loo.
And of course. And
the wonderful sanitation.
When we make the parallel to United States, that it's not that hard to do. For example, this switch of perspective on making unimportant things suddenly important. You see, in United States, there's I don't know why this is someone who makes a bit of sense wouldn't put this even on the table to discuss, like no gender toilets, genderless toilets. Like if I'm not wrong, I don't remember. No, I'm not gonna say I don't remember the place in the United States. They tried to like banish the boys and girls toilet and make it like gender fluid, they like to say, while they have serious things to do. Not saying this is not serious. I mean, this is not even something to put in question. You see, there is a denial on the reality that, well, the boys are gonna naturally harass the girls and the girls are naturally shy and it's not supposed to happen. It's, why do this? Why do this? What is the priority? What is the fucking priority? Black Lives Matter. well, yes, and so stop killing each other. You know, in Chicago, 80% of the death by firearms are committed by gang members, and they are mostly black. So there is an honesty problem. It's a matter of sit and talk honestly. That's why again I said, politics, it's not for children. Politics, it's something to be done seriously. Adults deal with facts, and children deal with emotions. Okay, if someone want to start a discussion over an emotional intention, it's not supposed to adults listen this, because it's out of any connection with the reality, because you can justify anything through the emotions. Anything. You can just kill 1 million people because you just did think it would be better for your country. You can do this because people who act emotionally are illogical. They make no sense. They can't be trusted. You can't trust in someone emotional. How the hell are you gonna trust in someone who gets angry with anger? The person can justify anything over this anger. Can betray you, can fuck up your life, you can't trust. Now the person is fine, but suddenly it flips off. How are you gonna do? Imagine this in a scale of politics, going to politics. Thank you, my friend. So it's so many things out of the place. Of course, making this parallel from Africa to United States, but we can see the pattern. Doesn't change much. The difference is Liberia. It's a really fucked up country, which is a country. Basically, it's a country who need help. They need help, okay, and they don't need help of Ghana. They don't need help of Somalia. They don't need help of Nicaragua or whatever. They need help from honest help from nations who work. Their political structure works, robust. There is but I know democracy in the long run is dangerous as anything else, but now I'm talking about the necessities. Now is the less evil, you know. But then comes those people who like to be the soapy ones, the ones who don't like to take sides and say, but come on, democracy is not for every country and etc. Well, but if it's not democracy, what gonna be? Talking about one libertarian society, I would love to do. Particularly, I would love to. But how a libertarian society would interact with the rest of the world who are not libertarian?
That's right.
So it's utopic. It's like a communist country. How a communist country gonna interact with the rest of the country? But talking about China. China have a communist political structure, not commercial. They are more than capitalists when it's about the money. Okay, and remember, they have all the money that they can print, because all their money, it's all their economy, it's they make up their numbers. There's
social
no
communists.
There.
Yeah.
Social communists, exactly.
Well,
you know, so.
But basically, seriously, that's really what it is, and that's why we keep on coming back to this wonderful country, Liberia, which we find so diverse, It could be such a great place. But fuck me, if you believe that water, health and hygiene is not important in your country, how is it possible that you can go forward? How is it possible that you can make business unless you're just exporting your minerals directly out and you're lining the politicians' pockets?
And why it's important to make the parallel of thinking with Liberia? Because Liberia, it's an extreme example.
Yeah.
And but extreme examples are not good because it's not everyone. No. The extreme example, it's good to show to you what you can become.
That's right.
If you keep yourself soapy and slippery and try to.
Come on, you've got to realize that
Reality is not like that.
Remember, this is a country that was going really up, really well, solid country structure, solid many things. Then they went into civil war, right? Or overthrow of the government. Then they went into civil war. Then they went into basically socialist, communist, country regime. Lots of civil war, fighting against one another, which was absolutely great for the regime on top, because when they had all that confusion, they had control.
Because it's very simple. Liberia history, the conflict, it's very hard to understand the basics. For example, before the civil war was a relatively stable government, but when Charles Taylor killed Samuel Doe, which was the guy who did the coup and killed the President Tubman, tortured him and killed, and then Charles Taylor, who was allied with Samuel Doe, Charles Taylor killed Samuel Doe, torturing him. So it's very ironical, right?
That's right. Boom, boom. History repeating itself
very,
again.
Very ironical.
There seems to be a pattern
and
there.
And Charles Taylor was trained by Muammar Gaddafi, was his pupil, okay? Trained and sponsored by him, a socialist. Muammar Gaddafi is socialist, okay? And when Charles Taylor went into power in Liberia, what did happen? War, massacre, civil war, 16 years of civil war. There's the answer.
And then if you see, but if you see the country now, remember, it's gone from fucking being a really decent country, to fucking rock bottom.
Was one of the biggest fall down in the history, on the economics, development, everything.
Boom, it just, it's not like this, it's fucking like this.
If you see, the graphics are like bizarre. They're going slow, going, have a height, and then suddenly, bah! It's like the country was vanished from the planet.
That's right. They didn't pull out
bizarre.
They didn't pull out the plug. They sucked the fucking plug out.
And when we talk about Liberia, we are talking about a tiny country who is fucking rich in iron ore, copper, diamonds,
gold.
I
think it's uranium as well that they have.
They have uranium in the north part.
That's right.
Near Ghana mountains.
They also have oil.
No, not Ghana, Guinea.
Don't they have oil or gas?
They have oil and gas, but it's not completely explored.
That's right.
Because there is no money. There is no money.
But there's money in his. Sorry.
And they have their land can be. It's not like South fucking Africa, which is fucking hard soil to work. It's perfectly workable soil. So before Liberia was known as the Pepper Coast.
Yeah. So they
give me money.
Give me money.
Give me money.
That's right. Give me the money. Yeah. So there is no excuse for the people of that country to work. It's just they don't have the know-how, and that's why Karamo and myself always say you need water, you need basic education, and a roof over your head. You need water, a roof over your head, and basic education, and that's where everything starts from.
Basic education, it's the most important thing to a country be able to develop properly.
But you see, the
as
government,
a society.
But the government doesn't want them to develop.
It's never interesting for the government have educated people.
Never.
Because the promises is starting to become hard. Start to become hard when you have highly educated people. It's hard to promise to people who know what we are talking about. It's very hard. It's very hard.
But when the people don't understand what the promises are, then it's okay.
That's why the maintenance of poverty is so important for Africa.
And that's why Africa promises a lot and uses lots of adjectives to hype the people up. Lots of adjectives, lots of promises, and nothing delivered.
Talking about promises and words, talk about the countries who was boosting about in the future we're gonna do nuclear plants.
Fuck.
Go ahead.
So I was searching. Obviously, this is not in the previous part of our stream. I was searching last time when we jumped off. Karmo and myself were speaking. I said, I really wonder. We were talking about energy, and then when we looked at the the 16-year-old delusional activist about the climate. I'm not against her, I'm just saying delusional. And then I thought to myself, how come she didn't mention China? How come she didn't mention Africa, which is not green energy at fucking all? Okay? Because you know why? Africa doesn't even say fuck you. Africa doesn't listen. Africa doesn't listen to all of those things. Doesn't have the, I wouldn't even say the ability. No, so should I say the ability? Africa doesn't have the ability or even the know-how to listen to that kind of thing. But in with that said, don't you think it is completely dishonest that you can point fingers at the rest of Western world? You can't point a finger at China, and you can't point a finger at Africa, which is really pumping the fucking CO2 hardcore, right? You can't point a finger at all, and the rest of the world doesn't say anything but promotes everything about this, about this delusional girl. And it's not just about that. We're coming back to Africa on this. That's why I'm saying, why didn't you say Africa? Oh, Africa is not on the list of importance. Africa is on the list of, give me the money for my next project, but I'll put it in my bank account.
This is our tradition.
Woohoo! Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Banana bread.
Banana bread. And this time I've placed some nice little Japanese sweet beans, which have a very similar texture to chestnuts. A little bit softer, but a little bit harder than banana.
Ooh.
And this time I actually went and tried something a little bit interesting, Carmo.
This is wife.
Yeah, please. And the banana bread, that's our tradition. That's basically the way that Carmo and I, we used to meet. And it was actually my wife's. It was my wife which actually first made banana bread, and I took a little bit when we met in the park, and Carmo enjoyed it so much, and I said, "Wow, that's how we started." And so, whenever we've got a couple of bananas around the house, and they seem to be going, nobody's eating them at faster rate as we should be, then I will convert them into a banana bread, which we will have very shortly.
Yep.
There it is.
Ba-
Please.
Ooh, fantastic.
So this is our tradition.
So he was talking about the power plants.
That's right. So I looked at Africa and I just said, all right, so Africa is fucking rife with fucking coal. Cheers, man.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Cheers, everyone. Is rife with coal and the way that energy, because the energy is not clean energy in Africa. It is no ways. There is, and as Kanamo says as well, they would probably not give any African country in their right mind any kind of nuclear reactor of sorts, because that will lead to unfortunate happenings.
I love banana bread and rhubarb bread.
Yeah, why? I got to try that one.
Now I'm gonna finally bring the...
Yes!
Talking about priorities in Liberia, I even took a note. I watched 27 minutes of the speech of the Mr. President George Weah in the UN.
How many days ago?
Was a week and a bit ago. Was 27 minutes full of nothing. Nothing.
You got to say it again. There was nothing.
27 minutes full of nothing. Okay? And nothing much to say. He just went there for I don't know why. And
to get money.
Yeah, of course, to get money too, and to make Liberian people waste their time, energy, and resources with their president. Why I say this? Because the Mr. President George Weah, he have a small problem of priorities in his country. Okay, again, I keep hitting the water problem, but I believe, and I believe people in this channel also believe that water, if it's not good to drink, it's a problem. We should have, have water to drink. I think it's okay.
Nobody's going to the moon or Mars without water.
And In the capital, only 20% of the houses have the buildings have proper water to drink.
That's a shit number.
While Mr. George Weah is worried to make a fancy ass airport in a fucked up country, okay? And here's the thing, talking about, and they have a statement saying that water, it's not priority in Liberia. It's not priority of Liberian people.
Welcome
okay?
to Africa.
Not priority.
Welcome
okay?
to Africa.
Now let me say some very interesting thing. In the district of Montserrado, in Liberia, in Painesville, okay, Wayne Town, to be more specific, it's a place in the Montserrado. It's in Monrovia, okay, capital. They have a dump site, okay.
So this is the middle of Monrovia.
A dump site, very big one. Make no mistake.
In the middle of Monrovia.
Very big one, okay, very big one. Dump site, and started to become a dump site in 2006. A dump site in the middle of the city, okay? A dump site. And that place was supposed to be built a clinic, not a dump site. There's a difference between a dump site and a medical clinic. I think there's a contrast, okay, between a dump site and a medical clinic. There is a very interesting contrast.
Dude, that's not even an argument.
So was supposed to be built a clinic there. Now we have a dump site. And in 2012, the government said, 6 years after, that is just temporary. Well, it's been there. Okay? But okay.
Welcome to Africa.
Okay, see how fucked up things are there. In 2012,
Procrastination.
2012, the government just said it's temporary. Okay, it's a temporary facility. Okay, the government word said. Okay, and was supposed to be a clinic. And what happened is, of course, it's a dump site in the middle of the city. People are literally dying because of diseases. Okay, rabies, men.
Right, feces.
They die a lot there. Okay, they die a lot. They have tons of rats. They have snakes. They have fleas. They have everything there, my friend.
But come on, the people don't understand. Okay, you've got to understand. If I can just add on one thing to it, okay, they don't have a proper sewerage system.
Yeah, no, they don't.
So they throw all the feces.
Yeah, of course.
And the urine and everything out onto the fucking street.
Yeah. And
it gets shoveled up. What does this create?
Yeah, and you
flies
see,
getting in. Holy shit!
And you see, this is in the middle of the city. There is. Imagine now, you right there, or viewer, at the side of your house, you have a mountain of trash. And when I say trash, it's not only it's feces, it is solid, it everything and the most interesting part, the leader of the community, Saveni, okay, the leader of the community, which is not aligned with any political party or anything, she's just a leader of the community, okay, she said, together with the people who live there, not only trash and feces and etc. it's being deposited there, ears, body parts, okay, babies, and people infected with Ebola.
What?
Ebola being delivered in a dump site in the middle of the city. And they have an Ebola outbreak. Why? Why do you think they had an Ebola outbreak? Because they was pumping sick bodies in the middle of the city in a dump site.
They're just putting the fucking body parts into the middle of the city into a dump site.
It is worse than medieval Europe.
Fuck me, that's fucked up, dude.
No, and this, imagine. And it's the same government who says water, it's not the priority of the Liberian
Hygiene
people.
is not important and health is not important.
Forget everything, okay? Liberia have a very specific geography that there is many rivers coming from the inland to the sea. So they don't have sewer. They put everything in the rivers, okay?
Shit.
And they don't. If you don't have water, my friend, let's be very logical. If you don't have proper water to drink, you're just gonna your fate is die very soon, sick, okay? And again, in Painesville, in Montserrado district, in Wayne Town.
Yes.
I'm gonna read again. I need to be repetitive. I'm sorry. In 2006, in an area in the middle of Wayne Town, in 2006, they started to create a dump site. In 2012, the government said it's temporary, 60 years after. And then they have an Ebola outbreak because they was pumping bodies and body parts infected with Ebola in the middle of the city.
But nobody talks about that. But the World fucking WHO doesn't say about that.
And
Oh no, we've got cures.
And
we've
the
got a
thing
cure.
is, one word of the leader community is saying, in that particular dump site, it's because it's in the middle of the city. It's famous for accumulating many children there. They even call the children zogos. In Kru language, means caterpillar, because there are so many. They are like caterpillars. So, airport.
What is the fucking thing of importance, people?
Airport. Go to UN. Talk.
Dude, your fucking priorities are so fucked up, and that the world can speak out
I don't know what
about
to say.
absolute fucking nonsense subjects and fucking pathetic fucking agendas. I'm not going to say what agendas they are. I'm talking about pathetic agendas of calling whoever what, or my certain personal rights, this and the next thing. Yeah, because you fucking going forward. What about the arse end of the world? You do, this needs to be fucking addressed. This.
And this is good example for the Greta Thunberg lawyers. I promised it to myself I wouldn't say her name today, but I needed to say
I'll forgive you.
Greta Thunberg lawyers who are so worried with the environment. What you think about in the side at the side of your house, you have a dump deposit very high.